class now, and I'm going to share my screen now. So today, from next week, good evening everyone once again. So from next week, the next 2 weeks that we are going to be having, we are going to have it live on YouTube. So please let's take note of that. We are going to have the next class on YouTube. So it's going to be YouTube directly. Like I will go live on YouTube. Of course, I will still mark attendance. There's a way I can mark attendance, even going live on YouTube. So next week will be live on YouTube, and the last week as well is also going to be live on YouTube. So take note of that. And so I believe you know my YouTube channel already. So last week we looked at how we can clean data in Power BI. And I believe that by now you should be able to clean data already in Power BI. So today we want to look at the model view. You remember 2 weeks ago when we started, we look at this is the table view, this is the report view, and this is the model view. Can you all see my screen? Okay. Please type yes if you can see my screen. All right, let's continue. So you remember that we said this is the report view, this is the table view, and this is the model view. So let's continue. So today I'm going to give you a data. I'm going to give an example of a data that requires us to make use of the model view or those view. So I will load in the data now. Now in Power BI, you can load in as many data as possible. So I'm already loading in the data. So we are going to load about 5 to 6 data. So this is the first data. This is like the supplier table. So it's a fake data. So take note of that. It's the suppliers table. Then let me load in another table. So it's loading. So sometimes, depending on the data size, the data could be a bit, depending on the size. So it could slow down a bit. And when it's finished loading, it's going to say that it has finished loading here. So you have to be patient with it for it to finish loading. So this has loaded. So then again, I'm going to load in another data now. Sales. So this one is also loading. So it's not your network. Oh, this is Power BI. So take note of that. So don't think that why is this scrolling like this? It's not your network at all. Because I know some of you will be like, why is this scrolling like this? It's not your network. So it's Power BI that is doing its own stuff. It's still working on it. I don't know why it's this kind of slow. So I'll load it again. I guess I might just have to limit it to maybe 5 or 4 because it's actually taking time before it's load. Okay, so this one did not take time. So let me load more. So product. Then again, sales, product. Okay, orders. Yeah, I think it's getting fast now. It's not slow anymore. Then order inventory. So I'll just stop there. I'll stop at that number 5 because of our time, so that I can explain what I want to explain this evening. All right then. Now, this is the table view. So let me now go to the uh the model view. So now you can see that when I clicked on the model view, you can see some diagrams and you can see some lines. So when you look at this model view, now the reason why I'm teaching you this model view is because I've gone for an interview before and I was told to explain the model view in Power BI. Like they've loaded the data for me and I was told to explain the model view. So there's something that is called primary key and foreign key in model view in relationship in Power BI. So primary key is the key that is unique to a table, while foreign key. Now, for example, when you look at these linked orders now, the primary key for linked orders here is the order ID. When you look at linked supplier, the primary key for supplier table, this suppliers table, is the supplier ID because it is unique. So for example, if you are working in a place, if you are still a student, your matric number is unique to only you. The school where I finished from, my matric number is still unique. They can't give my matric number to anybody, even though I have graduated. They can't give my matric number to anybody. So when you look at product table, product ID is also the unique, which is the primary key. And when you look at sales here, when you look at sales here is this one is not linked to anyone, but I can link it later. Sales ID here is the primary key. And when you look at inventory ID here is also the primary key. Now, when you now look at how the order and the suppliers are linked together, now this shows that you see one here and you see one here. So if they ask you that what's the relationship between order and suppliers, so this is one-to-one relationship. What it means is that a supplier orders you, that this is what it means is that you order products from a supplier, and supplier also supplies products by making orders. Because when you look at what is here, you see products supplied, and when you look at here, you will see here that there's something that linked it together, and what is linking it is the order ID. So the order ID in this supplier table is called a foreign key. So the order ID here links. So for example, now if you have a warehouse, you have people that supplies you products, but this table is showing us that this warehouse just have just one supplier because it is one-to-one relationship. So for example, now if what they are selling in this organization is wristwatch, so that what it means is that they have just one supplier that is supplying them because it is one-to-one relationship. Now, when you look at the order table and the products, you will see that this is one. The meaning of star here is many, one-to-many relationship. And what does that mean? What it means is that somebody can order many products at a time. That is, for example, now, if you are a customer, you can, if you want to make use of Amazon, you can order wristwatch, you can order charger, you can order phone. All those orders will be in what? They will have, all those orders will have different order number. They are going to have a different order number. So that is the meaning of one-to-many relationship. One product, but many others. One product, but many others. Now, when you look at products, how does the product table, how does it link to inventory? It's also one-to-many. What it means is one product to many inventory. Inventory is just like the stock that is left. Every warehouse have an inventory where they keep their things. So we have three kinds actually, but in Power BI is actually two that is recognized, which is one-to-one relationship and one-to-many relationship. And that's what I just explained to you. One-to-many means that, let me just explain it in literary terms to you. You enter Amazon, you are just one, but you ordered a lot of products. That is one-to-many. You are one customer. But I didn't include customer table here. You are just one customer, but you order a lot of products. That is one-to-many relationship. And that is what it means here as well. So you are just a customer on Amazon. You ordered iPhone, you ordered the charger, you ordered wristwatch. How many products do you order like that? That is 3. So that is one-to-many relationship. However, if you enter Amazon and you are only restricted to just order one, that is one-to-one relationship. So that is what it means by one-to-one and one-to-many relationship. like I told you, I've gone for an interview before, and I was told to explain one-to-one, one-to-many relationship. I was told to explain that what does this one mean? What does this one-to-many means? So what it means is that one product to many others, and if you scroll down here, one product to many inventories. Yes, you will get the data. Now, in Power BI, we cannot have many to many. Of course, I know that it exists. I know somebody is going to ask that question. In Power BI, it does not recognize many to many, but we can have many to many relationship. We can have many to many relationship. But in Power BI, it will not produce it for you. It will only produce one to one. And it would have already, you will see that there was nothing that I did. It just generated the relationship by itself. I didn't do anything. The relationship was just generated by itself. I didn't do anything to the data at all. There was nothing that I do to the data at all. If I should add, let me add one more data to this data now. Maybe I should add the customer data. I think that might make it more easy, and that will be linked to the sales. Let me add the customer data to the data. So let's go back to the model view now. You will see that it would have linked everything naturally as well. I wouldn't need to do anything. So you see, it has linked the customer, which is 1-to-1 with order, because you have customer ID here. Is 1-to-1 with order. I didn't need to do anything at all. It has linked it. If I want sales to be linked, then I need the employee table. So let me put the employee table there too. There's no employee table here, so that the sales data will also be linked. So let me upload the employee table as well. In my place of work, sometimes I can have more than 10 tables that are linked together. So this is even small. This is just 7 tables that are linked together. Now you will see here now that the sales data would have linked directly to the model, would have linked to the employee data. So you can see the sales data has linked directly to the customer data, to the employee data, and it is 1-to-many. So what it means there is that one employer make different sales. So for example, now, if you are working in a supermarket, you are just one. But it is not one sales that you make per day. You make what? Many sales. So that is what 1-to-many, that is what it means. That is what 1-to-many means. Any question concerning this? Because I want us to start drawing a dashboard, so that if possible, we'll continue the dashboard next week. So I want us to start start drawing a dashboard today. But I will first of all see if we have questions. Can you make links by yourself? No. Power BI is going to naturally link it for you when they link. Power BI will naturally link it for you. So What if an individual orders many items of the same product? Yeah, it depends on the database. Now, this data that we are having is showing that one customer only, a customer, let me use what you are explaining. If an individual orders multiple items of the same product, yes, if you look at it, one to many order, one to order. So now it is just this data. You can enter a company and it will change to one to many. No, it doesn't have to be structured like this. So it's because of this fake data that I'm using at the moment. It's because of the fake data I'm using at the moment, and that is why it's like that. It's because of the fake data that I'm using at the moment, and that's why it's like that. So it depends on the data of that company at that particular time. So it's not a rule. That's why I said that Power BI has the capability to dictate relationship between those tables, and it's going to dictate it for you. And when it dictates it for you, you are going to have it. So Power BI has the capability to dictate it. That's the capability of Power BI. So it is, the onus is on the data you are given and the different tables. So it is not, yes, Power BI will dictate it naturally. That's it. And if there is no relationship, you cannot force it. It's not possible. So it's because I generated this fake data, and so I've already ensured that there was relationship between those data. And that was why I explained with primary key and the foreign key. So let's go to the report view. Now, so from now on, from next week, we are going to start the visualization aspect. So, and I feel like we should start it today. So I will start the designing of it. Now, so this is what I did here. I went to the text box. So I wanted to so sales record inventory. Now, this is the title of the dashboard that I want to create, or of a report that I want to create. So now, first thing is, let's create like some cards. Let's create some cards. So we want to know the total number of employees. We want to know the total number of customers. So let's create some cards. So here, I want to know the total number of employees. So it's going to give me the total number of employees there. So here now, I can come here and change the properties of it. So here, first of all, I can rename it as the total number of customers is my Power BI that is saying not responding. So hang on for some minute. Let me rename this as the number of customers. Now, from here, I can change the color, change anything to what I want to change. I can change the color, change the lettering, change everything. So how do I go about that? So from here, properties, I can add several effects. I can add several effects to it. So let's start by changing the color. Let me move it out first. Position, yeah, that's right. Padding, yes, that's right. Effects, yes. So I want the background color to no. Wait, I want to withdraw it. So the no, the shadow. No, I don't want the shadow. Multiple layout, card. Yes, let it be like that. Background color. Why is it doing this? I don't want this background color. So image. This is what we'll be spending our time doing next week. Oh. But I want to start laying the foundation from this week. Number of customers, multiple layout. effects. Yeah, let it stay like that. Properties. Let it stay like that. Then, yeah, it should be count. So, the label, reference label, yeah, let it stay like this. So properties, yeah, the height is okay. No, the background, that's the color I want. Visual border. Do I want this? No, I don't want that. Data format. So I want it to be an whole number. I don't want it to be in form of this 1K. I want to be in form of whole number. Yeah, 1,000 separators. Why is it not working? What if I change it to percentage? It should work. Whole number, general. Why is it not on 1K? I don't want it to stand at 1K. No, don't start at 1K. Decimal, no. 100%, no. So here, 0. Let it be like this. Whole number. Yeah. Let it have 1,000 separators. So now let's duplicate this. Now, the reason why I will tell you the reason why I'm duplicating them. But I want to change the background color. I don't like this background color. I want to change the background color. I don't like the background color. Card. Auto rigid cards. Yes, apply this to all settings. Then background. Let me change it to something like this. Then I will now change the lettering. Borders to that. General. Let me see how this one works. Okay. Number of customers. Yeah. Okay, so let me go and delete the title up there. Yeah. I don't want the title up here. So reference label, something that I want to do. And that thing is not coming up. The effects, I want to do this thing very well. No, no. No, no. Okay. Remove. Let me use this. I think it's because of that one that I use. That's why it's doing like that. Let me use like the normal card. Customer ID. Aha, this was what I was looking for. I was not using the right card previously. So number of customers. I was the one that wasn't using the right kind of card previously. So that was why it was showing like that. So yeah, this was what I was expecting. Area, black, yeah. So let me change this to, okay, let me first of all go and change the background. Let me first of all go and change the background. Let me change the background to, yes. So this was what I was the one that picked the wrong card previously. I was wondering that what was happening. I was the one that picked the wrong card previously. So let me change this to white. Yes. Then these two non, these two white, bolding it. Yeah, we could have it here. Yeah. So now let me now duplicate it. This is what I wanted to have. So now by duplicating it, so what I'm going to do here is I want to know the number of employees in the organization as well. So the number of employees in this organization is also 1,000. So number of employees is also 1,000. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to, because it's a fake data, that's why they look like they are aligning. So if it is like the data of a company, it's not going to align like this. If I want to know the number of inventories, so I will also need to click, I will click out here and click on the number of inventories. So I will rename it as the number of inventory. The number of in the inventory. So I can have the number of products, the number of sales. All these ones can serve as my KPIs if I want to explain it to my stakeholders. So now, but enough of cards. Let's do like uh one or two diagrams And let's look at some other. Maybe we should look at the let's look at it in years. Should we look at year? Okay, no, let's look at months and look at the number of orders per month. So we want to look at the number of orders per month. Like the trend of orders per month. Now, somebody might want to ask me that, okay, and why did I use a line chart here and I was using card there? Now, when it has to do with something that has to do with time, the best thing to use is to make use of a line chart. So let me edit this, make all of this bolder. So let's edit it here. So for my x-axis, I don't need, so I need to make it a bit bold so that you yourself can see it as well. So you can see January, you can see the January, February, March, September. So I will remove the months there because everybody knows that that is the month. So I don't need a title. Everybody knows that that's the month. Then for my y-axis, I don't need, okay, I need the values. So let me make it bold. Then let's now go to the title. So the title is the number of orders per month. The number of orders per month. Now, so this title, to make it so that my stakeholders will understand it very well, so I need to make it more bold. So I will change the background color to black, and I will change the text color to white. Then bold these, increase it, increase the size more. Now you can see number of orders per month. Now you can see it clearly. And when you look at here, it's showing that December looks like the month in which this company used to experience a lot of order. So December looks like the month in which they used to experience a lot of order. Now, this is what we are going, I'm going to save this. This is what we are going to continue. And we are going to design we are going to design different reports next week. So I will save this, and this is what we are going to continue from next week. Let me see if I have questions. Okay, somebody is asking that, how do we know the right card, sir? Because if not, that is the wrong card you pick. No, I was one that, now look at here, I picked the wrong card because here is having another icon. Here it was having another icon here. I was one that didn't check properly. So when you want to pick, this is the right card to pick. The card that does not have an icon at all, this is the right card to pick. So I was the one that didn't pick the right card, and that was why I was looking at what I was looking for, and it was giving me something else. That wasn't what I was looking for. Now, if I want to communicate these results to my stakeholders now, I will tell them that in December is when we have the highest order, followed by what? April. And we have the least order in February. So what can they do about February? They could introduce more. That's why you see some companies, they will introduce bonus and the likes for some months because they have analyzed the data and discovered that that month there are not many orders that usually happen. How do we know the right visual to use? Like I said, it comes by experience. Now, because here I want to know the number of orders per month. When we begin to do it, I'll be giving you some of those things. So when you want to use like a pie chart, it has to be of proportion. Those things has to come in proportion. So when you are doing something on proportion, then you make use of a pie chart. It comes by experience. There is no fast and hard route to it. But when you are dealing with anything that has to do with time, the best thing to use is a line chart. Now, this is months. I'm dealing with months, which is also time. So this gives the best visual. There's no how you are looking at this that you will not be able to know the highest order in which was received by this company by months. You can easily see it and say that yes, the highest order was received in December. So it comes by practicing and experience. It doesn't just happen. Yes, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to time, trends, and the like, yes, you can use bar charts. It's not an hard and fast rule, but the best to use is a line chart because it gives you the exact thing that you want to look for. It gives you that exact thing that you want to look for. So you can see it. Anybody seeing this chart now will easily identify and know that the number of order per month and know that yes, December has the number of the highest order per month. I can see funnel, stack chart, and the likes. And who say you do not see it? I don't understand that question. So I'm going to save this and we are going to continue the designing our reports next week. So we are going to have several pages next week. So take note of that very well. And I'm already prepared for you next week. And like I said, it's going to be on YouTube Live. It's going to be on YouTube Live next week. So take note of that very well. So thank you very much for joining. I will post the video tonight on YouTube. So thank you very much for joining, and I will see you next week.